Hey guys, so today I'm doing a slightly more serious video, and this is my Draw My Life video, and it's 11 o'clock, and I've done like 4 takes of this, so I sound really tired, but try to ignore that. So I was born in Washington State on September 10th, 1998 at around 8:33, in the morning, and quite obviously I was born to my mom and my dad. That's them on the very far left. My mom's super short, so she's shorter than everybody. And then 22 months later, my second little sister Brooke came along, my first little sister Brooke came along, and then 7 years later, my second little sister Bella came along. We're an alright family. We're definitely rather weird, and we have our quirks. Overall, I had a pretty decent childhood, I think. However, one of the main things I hated was school and socializing. I've always been really awkward, and I had moved schools from kindergarten to first grade. So first grade was a tough year for me. I had one friend who's a guy named Matthew, and he and I are still really good friends today. But it sucked, and he ended up leaving schools in second grade. He moved schools. And in second grade, I met one of my best friends, Monica, who I'm still friends with today also, and she introduced me to pretty much all my friends. Like, I wouldn't have any friends if it wasn't for her. So, thank you, Monica. But, yeah, our friend group had a lot of drama and a lot of problems, which wasn't good, and I didn't really like it, but we were like 10 and 9, so yeah, drama was kind of bound to happen. But she also introduced me to one of my friends, Allison, who we were good friends for a while, and then our friendship kind of faded, and that sucked. But I mean, overall, I didn't like school. I didn't have that many friends, and I just wish my friendships that I had ended better. But then in third grade, I was always writing. First of all, just some background information. I wrote so much. In third grade, I finally wrote my first novel. It was like 30 pages, and I just read an Andrew Clements book, and I'm like, okay, I have to write now. And I also started YouTube that year. I was doing just videos, and then I wasn't allowed to post them until like 5th grade. But yeah, I did videos, and then I also started basketball that year, which is probably like the 3 most important things in my life. And then in 6th grade, this was my first middle school year, I kind of went into the school year feeling really on top of the world. Like, it was so on top of the world. I was just like so prepared for all the mean girls and everything that was going to happen, and I thought I was pretty popular. I was kind of a big fish in a small sea, and that completely changed. And I got bullied so horribly, mainly for my nose. I was called a horse, and there was like Facebook pages about me. It was so horrible. And then it didn't really affect me. I didn't really care about my nose. I mean, it's bigger, but it's not really. It doesn't bother me. It still doesn't bother me. But just the fact that people genuinely hated me sucked. And that's part of the reason Allison and I aren't friends anymore. She was the kind of part of the perpetration of this. Yeah, it wasn't a good year, and it didn't get better from there. In 6th grade, though, I also started making beauty videos, and around January, a girl named Crazy Ray Ray was posting videos, and she went to my middle school, and I'm like, oh, hey, I could probably do this. I want to do beauty videos too. So because of Sarai, I decided to create a new account and make beauty videos, and I was already making other YouTube videos at that point. But yeah. And then finally 7th grade arrived, and 7th grade was probably one of the worst years of my life. One of my best friends had just moved, and that was hard because I had maybe like 3 or 4 friends in the first place, especially after that really tough year. So I became rather depressed, I would say. I just kind of kept to myself. I remember not talking. I just remember feeling so horrible all the time. And I got really good grades that year, though, because I didn't have anything else to do besides my work. So that year, was one of the better grade years in my life. I tried really hard because that was the only thing I had. It it was bad. I had one really good friend, and I'm so glad that she's my friend. But I also met Miss Hall that year, my social studies and language arts teacher, and she inspired me to keep writing. And I looked up to her so much, and she became like a second mother. So that was a good thing that happened. And then 8th grade, this picture is sideways, so I hope I can flip it with editing. But in 8th grade, I met Ethan, and you guys probably know Ethan. He, in October, dated one of my best friends, Ashley, and they ended up breaking up within like 8 days. And I I talked to him once just to say that I was going to kill him if he ever hurt her. And he didn't. He wasn't the dumper. He was the dumpy, and he became kind of depressed after that. And I started talking to him, and I would text him, and um, we became best friends pretty quick. I would say, like, within the first day. Um, but he liked another girl that was cool. We both kind of had our own thing. I liked his best friend, Graham, who's actually one of my best friends today, but that's something else. Um, but we had that, and then kind of one day we both just were like, oh, I kind of like you, and I'm like, oh, I kind of like you too. And like a week or 10 days after that, we started dating, and that was the best moment of my life, probably. He's changed my life so much. But also, I forgot to add this, in the summer between 7th and 8th grade, I found Charlie Is So Cool, like, the first real, like, YouTuber I've ever watched, and he saved my life, I would say. I am so thankful for him, and he introduced me to the Vlogbrothers, Nerd Fighteria, and Narimon, his roommate, Alex Day, and I look up to them so much. I don't know where I would be without them, but they made me a lot happier. And then here's me now. I'm still with Ethan, and he's still one of my favorite people ever. I wrote my first book this year, like real book, not just like a 30-page novel, but an actual 50,000 word book that people have read and loved, and I made my little sister cry at one point, so that's amazing. And I have a 4.0 again, so that's always nice as well. And I'm not as happy as I was in 5th grade, but I'm doing better. I don't know. So that was my life. I hope you enjoyed this a little bit, and you know me a little bit more now, so I'm gonna go. Bye.